Yeah, you can always tell Claude, hey, I don't know, I'm not technical. I don't know anything that's technical. You need to tell me what you need me to do. I tell Claude all this all the time because there's some things that maybe it needs you to like it needs you to create a Vercel account for. Then it will go and then you create the account. Then you tell it, hey, I created the account. What do you need next? Then it will tell you, hey, I need this API key. So then after you give it the API key, now it can control your Vercel. And now it can host websites for you. For example, it might ask you to create a GitHub account. So you need to start to explore with that. And then anytime you're not sure, you just ask Claude. And then tell Claude, I don't understand. Explain to me in English. And then you just basically work with it. That will get you very, very far. And just doing this every single day, you will learn more than any course can ever teach you. All right. But you need to have a specific project in mind that you want to do, which is start out basic and then start to build from there. So what I would suggest you to do, start with this website thing. Build out the full website and ask it to do pictures, ask it to put this in, put that in. If it doesn't look as good as mine, ask it like, hey, why does it look at this one you created? Tell me the difference. Why couldn't you do it like this? Or find another website which looks good and say, oh, I want you to understand and learn this style. You see, and then after that, you start to train your Claude, right? And then number two is obviously get the meeting note taker and stuff and start to talk to Claude. Use the whisper flow to talk to Claude. I'll send you all of this later. And then different things. One of the best things you need to look at is what are you currently doing in your day-to-day life, which potentially could be automated, and start doing that. For example, like let's say you write emails, start looking at how Claude can help you to write certain emails, right? And then after Claude writes your first couple emails, they will be bad. They're not going to be good. You have to now train it. You have to correct it. Hey, I like my emails like this. Please learn from that. And then you rewrite it. This iteration and this process will get your Claude smarter and it will get you smarter. So yeah, number one is basically just work on a project. Number two, look at your daily stuff, which you can potentially automate and just learn more about what can you do. Number three is like, go look at different YouTube videos and ask me. You can ask me like different questions and then I'll help you out there. And then, because a lot of times when it comes to Claude, you need to find out what's possible. So what I've shown you now is like, I've just tried to overload you with like what's possible so that you can understand that anything is possible. But there's a lot of different steps to get there. And then you just need to talk to your blog to get past those hurdles and get those steps done. And then when it comes to different AI models, and in terms of the cost, there's only one cost, which is Claude Code. And if you upgrade to more expensive Claude Code, that's the second cost. And then when it comes to Gemini, I use Gemini. Different models have different strengths. The strength of Gemini is that it's the best multimodal AI. And what does that mean? That means that it understands video, it understands pictures, and it understands text very well. So it's the best kind of general AI. And of course, it has the Google stuff, the Google connections, but that's not the reason I use it. I only use it for like a general thing. And for example, like when I cook, I use Gemini, and then I'd send a picture. Is my shrimp finished cooking? And it's able to tell me if it is or if it's not, because it's very smart with all of this stuff. So I use it as like a day-to-day thing, which you can of course experiment with. But when it comes to anything work-related, Claude is the only thing you need, because the thing is, Claude, you can actually connect it to your Google Drive. You can connect Claude to your whole Google suite. So right now, if I wanted to create a Google Doc, Claude does it because it already has everything connected. Of course, there are steps to get that. First, you have to download this like CLI thing, which allows it to like connect to your Google. You have to go into Google Cloud Services and create an API so that it can be connected and give it permissions. A lot of what you'll realize is that you just need to create the connection. You have to create an API or an MCP, connect it, and then use Claude. Last and final thing, when you create a chat, your chats need to be isolated and you need to be mindful of context window. So I'm sure you've heard that term from other people before. Context window, you'd never want to let your context window exceed 30%. So I know everyone, when we say context window, there's like 1 million token context windows and all of this, which is a bit more technical. Basically, how that looks like is that, and you can just literally talk to your Claude about this. You just tell your Claude like you want to see how much context there is and you want to see it like somewhere. But in this chat here, I've used up, if you see at the very bottom, I've used up 23% of the context window. Once you get past 30%, your AI gets very dumb, very fast, and it makes mistakes. So you need to make sure that anything you do, you make sure that it's inside a 30% context window. And once you get to 30% and you're not done yet, what do? You tell it, hey, I want to continue this in the next session. Create me a handover prompt so that I can continue this in the next session. And then basically it will give you a handover prompt. This is how I do it. Create me a handover prompt so that I can continue this in the next session. And inside my handover prompt, I have a specific prompt. So when I say handover prompt, it creates another prompt. But basically this is what it will tell. And I'll click send. It will create a prompt, and then I copy paste that prompt and I put it into a new window, new session here. That's the most important thing, because if you do everything in one chat, you will burn up. Firstly, you won't get your ideal outcome. Your AI will be super dumb, and you're gonna like burn your usage very fast. So I need to tell you that, because I used to burn my usage very fast just because I did not know this one thing. But everything I just said, that's probably all you need to get started. That would take you from like 0 to maybe 5. I'll consolidate everything. I'll get Claude to actually consolidate everything. And actually, based on my experience, it'll basically create you a nice infographic, which you can then use.